Welcome back to another episode of Rossie's Clubhouse. You guys know once a month or once every other month or whenever we have a chance, we like to do a legendary series. We like to give our flowers to those comics that have been out for years, the ones that we grew up with. We are going to celebrate the comedic legend, Bernie Mac, you guys. And we're really excited to do this show. We all knew which guys we wanted to do, and Bernie Mac, absolutely. We definitely want to celebrate him. Miss him. I miss his comedy, and it's so nice to be able to go on YouTube and watch some old Kings of Comedy, or just punch in Bernie Mac and just all of his stuff comes up, especially his early days and on Def Comedy Jam. Anyway, so with me, I have stand-up comics out of Sacramento. You guys, you know them. Brandon Holloway I have with me. I have Mark Snipes with me. We normally have our fourth guy, Frank. He's not here tonight. Frank, we miss you, and we'll see you on the next one. So you guys can go back and you can check out Frank on the other shows. But so Frank, we're gonna do this for you. We know you love Bernie Mac, so I hope we cover everything. Okay. You guys, just a little bit about Bernie Mac. Right. So he was born in 1957. He died in 2008, way too soon. He was born Bernard Jeffrey McCullough. He was a legendary American comedian and actor. We all know that. Known for his fearless, edgy style and authentic storytelling. Rising from Chicago's South Side, he transitioned from a street performer to one of the kings of comedy. Ultimately starring in his own award-winning sitcom and major Hollywood films. Okay, so we all know the Bernie Mac show. We watched it every week it came on. We didn't miss an episode. Mark, early thoughts about Bernie Mac. When did you first discover Bernie Mac?
First off, Bernie Mac's my favorite comic, so I'm excited for this. Mac, man, come on, I've been waiting. I think I first discovered Bernie probably somewhat the Kings of Comedy. I remember my parents watch it in the living room and stuff like that. I don't think I was allowed to watch it, but I was like, kind of sneaking or whatever. Then he and I just remember talking so much shit about the kids and his niece and nephew. I thought shit was the funniest shit in the world, right? I was like, who is this motherfucker? But I think when I really got into him, I really got onto him because obviously I couldn't watch it. I'm only catching the ear and here and there. But I really got onto him when he did the Bernie Mac show. That's really when that's when he started like popping. I got I can watch this shit now. I'm watching it with my family and stuff. My mom used to watch that show just all the time. So a few years back before she passed, and then got out through high school and middle school, and you know what I mean. So love Bernie Mac, bro. Favorite comic. Yeah, but absolutely. He was my first impression is probably he didn't give a fuck. That's my first impression.
Yes. Brandon, what about you? First encounter Bernie Mac.
Same as Mark. I didn't know who he was. Like I knew about him because like my parents would like reference him because they would like go to the club and go see him when he like do his circuits and stuff around. Right. I saw him at Punchline when he first came to Punchline, like I guess like 94, 95. They went to go see him. Wow. And we saw him on the Kings of Comedy on the thing, and I remember like some of the jokes he was saying. Like, I mean, he would go in and he'd talk about white folks, and he was like, I remember him talking about when black folks. He's like, I feel like I done worked out all day because I had to give all black folks, when you give them a handshake, you gotta give them a hug, you gotta be strong, you gotta hold it. I was like hilarious because he was like, you made it when white folks see you. Like I was like, and everybody's used that since then. And then I mean, he's had some iconic jokes on there. Really, the Bernie Mac show was my first introduction to who Bernie was. Like the Costco episode was the one that sealed me. Like to this day, like I thought it was funny as a kid. And I watch it now and I can relate to it so much because I was like, I am Bernie. Like, I understand. Like, no, these kids messed up everything. Can't have nothing. He had like the bulk cereal. He ended up buying a shed and putting all his bulk stuff out there. Like, just the stuff he would do. That was crazy. So, it's just like, I love Bernie Mac. And like Mark said, he's one of my favorites. He's definitely one of the inspirations because he started into the game kind of late. He had a family and stuff, took care of him, and then he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go chase my dreams." And it's definitely inspiration for a comic like me. So, because I got a family, that's my thing. So, and I think about Bernie, and I go like, okay, maybe I got a shot too. So,
yeah, shit, we all do, man. You know.
Right.
Speaking of him, I mean, when Bernie Mac first came out, like they said that he worked various jobs. He was like a janitor, he was a cook, furniture mover. He worked at UPS.
Right.
He did a lot of those things that you do when you're first starting out, and for someone like him, south side of Chicago, to make it. And like, Mark says, when you see Bernie Mac and you see his stand up, you do get that, I don't give a fuck kind of attitude. He doesn't care. He did the Kings of Comedy. That was like the late 1990s. He joined Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, D.L. Hughley for a record-breaking tour, the 2000 documentary film, which was excellent. I remember my brother went to go see the Kings of Comedy in Vegas, and I remember seeing it for the first time. So yeah, he went to go see it in Vegas, and when we saw him, it was like on a special on TV. And I remember seeing it for the first time. I thought all their sets were really good. Bernie Mac had the last set, and when he came out, you remember the energy from the audience, just everyone, everyone has their favorite. But when Bernie Mac, what he headlined, was the last one to come on a stage, and it was a perfect ender because the excitement that everyone had when he came out, you couldn't wait. Because by this point, I first saw him on Def Comedy Jam. I remember seeing him on there, and he had this the audience wasn't doing too well with the audience. I remember him going back at him, and his famous line, which is, I'm not scared of you.
I'm not scared of you, motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm not scared of you. And after that, he was invited back, and that was his thing. He coined that to where he would say that. And then seeing him on Friday as that nasty preacher that will come over.
Miss Parker, yeah, everybody.
Yes, it was great. And I remember seeing him on Friday, and just that little part of him being that preacher, it's like, that's Bernie Mac. Like the characters he plays, which is great, it's like a piece of him. You can see him being that skeezy preacher that is into the ladies, has his own church. So, and it only took a few minutes for him to make you laugh, but he was a big, personality on the screen. When you saw him on Friday and he popped in, anyone thoughts about that? Did you die like I died?
Oh man. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. That's iconic. I mean, when we were coming up, we saw like a teacher that was fine, or anybody, we were like, Miss Parker. We would just quote it every now and then. Everybody knew what it was, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we get it. Yeah, they would know, so they would catch on. So it was just, I mean, the things he did. He didn't have a lot of scenes in that movie, but you remembered him, and he was like the hustling preacher. I'll be over there to help you pray. And like it's like, oh man, it's like, oh no,
yes.
Okay, but you knew cats like that, and it was just funny that he channeled that and created that on that film. It's like he was just having fun. So
right.
You get
go ahead, Mark.
Well, you could tell he lives by that what's that thing? No small roles, just small actors. You can tell he lives by that, because even Friday, I remember him, the facial expressions. Remember he was trying to get Smokey and Cradle him hit some. Hit some
that's right. That's right.
Face expressions, just like this is still.
Like, you didn't put in on this.
Yeah, it was what he said. It was, yeah, classic. And also too, not to even skip ahead, but when he even in like movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, he had like such a small role. But I always, the favorite part of that movie is when he slides down and he grabs Martin. He's like, "Your hand might have saw like a woman." That shit's at me, dude. Jake-a-lang, that shit's at me.
Jake-a-lang. That was like that. Yeah, you can't stop that.
Yeah.
What I thought was great about him was the fact that he can turn a role like Friday or Life, and then you see him becoming this movie star, what's it, Ocean's 11, I think it was. He was in Madagascar 2, Bad Santa, 1 and 2. I mean, just to go from that, and I don't think I expected that, because remember, Steve Harvey was set up for that. You know, he had the
Yeah.
show, he had that.
Right.
Steve Harvey
Right.
was set up to become that movie star, and Bernie just like
Yeah, he would.
outpaced all of them and just ran with it. But I found it fascinating, and I really was hoping that it was a thing, because I remember some of the rumors around Kings of Comedy after it had aired and it was very popular was Bernie Mac was going to have a show. He's going to have a TV show. So the skit that he did about the three kids, you know, his sister's kids coming to live with him, and he's telling that story at Kings of Comedy, which was one of my favorite skits, because I like how he did every kid's personality, who they were, and what he was dealing with, and him going to court, and the whole scene of court, and how he answered the judge, and how he was wrong in answering the judge. I was hoping, please let that be something. I could see that being a show. And then you guys, that brings me to the Bernie Mac show, which aired 2001 to 2006. I think it would have still went on if he wasn't ill. There was no cancellation. There was no ratings were dropping. Like, the show was doing really good. Let's see. This critically acclaimed sitcom featured Mac as a fictionalized version of himself, raising his sister's 3 children. He often broke the fourth wall to address the audience, which I thought was great. I love when he would sit and talk to the audience. The show won Peabody Award, earned Mac multiple Emmy and Golden Globe nominations for that show. That was great when he would sum up or tell you about which kid, what the kid was going through, or what he was going through in that episode. I thought the cast was, everyone fit perfectly and played great as his sister's kids and then his girlfriend. What'd you guys think about Bernie Mac show? Did you tune in every week? We spoke on it, but like, really, when it came out, were you just as excited as I was? Like, Bernie Mac show.
I don't remember being like excited when it premiere or whatever. I didn't really, you know, this is still the dude I'm listening to in the living room. Man, they get some good, so I don't really, I'm not on him like that. I just knew this shit was funny. I don't remember being like super excited, but around that time, I feel like when new show like sitcoms would premiere, the advertising would be crazy, and like it kind of would be a big deal. So I remember like watching my brother or family or some shit, and I remember the thing. The first episode was something about a big ass donut or some shit about Brianna was like, or something like that. And I remember being hooked from, you know, ever since then. But you know, it's such a great show, because you know, him being able to go from what he was on stage, like cussing and talking all types of shit, you know, and then go to he cleaned it up enough, but he didn't take the, you know, the season out of it. It was still a, you know, it was still a, he still was threatening the kids, but he would threaten them in like the nicest way, you know, like, I mean, like a more watered down way, but it was still like fucked up. Like, I love when he would threaten Vanessa, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, he would threaten the shit out of him. I'm like, damn, but he kept it clean, but not, you know what I mean, but still kept it kind of, you know, still kept a little rawness in there. So yeah, I love the fucking Bernie Mac show. You know what's so funny about him, because I remember Chris Rock was talking about trying to get him to do a movie. I forgot what movie it was. Him and Chris Rock did the movie together. It was like a president movie.
Head of State. Head of State.
Was it?
Head of State.
Head of State. Yeah.
Yes.
He was trying to get Bernie to play, you know, the co-star with him, and then the people in the rooms, the executives were like, you know, well, he's too dark and we don't really understand what he's saying and stuff like that. And I remember Chris Rock saying he does the movie, and the way he blows up to be this movie star, it's just crazy to go against all odds the way he did. You know, people didn't feel he fit the mold to do certain things, and this motherfucker it broke the mold. Fuck the mold.
That movie is so underrated. Like, nobody, not many people know about it, but the Head of State, the movie is so fun. I mean, the scene where he comes in off the train and he starts slapping who even thought of that? Yeah, that was ridiculous. Like, he just get off and he's like, "Who are you?" And he's just slapping everybody. He was like, "I'm the vice president." I can't remember what he was. He was like, but he didn't tell anybody. He just started slapping. He was like, "My man's the president." So we really thought Obama was going to do that. We were like, "Okay, it's coming. It's coming." But
he outrageous. But you ain't got a full nigga in there yet. Wait.
I
Wait
thought
till you.
that like when the show came out, it goes back to what you said, Mark, with some shows that comes out, there's a lot of hype around it. You don't know how it's
Mhm,
going to do. And I remember rooting, like I wanted the show to do really well because remember, we haven't
mhm.
had a show like that really since Martin, you know.
Yeah,
Right.
And
yeah.
before that, you
Right.
had the Cosby Show, but Martin, and which was very
Mhm,
successful. So you're hoping
mhm.
that another, legendary comedian at that time, Bernie Mac, can come in there and do a show, and to see how, like you said, how he was tamed. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
he he transformed into this great sitcom
Yeah.
dad. You
Yep.
know, because he
Right.
Yep.
became
Right.
the
Hey, Bill
sitcom dad.
Cosby
You
or
know,
something, just with his swag or whatever.
yes,
But I mean,
absolutely,
What I noticed
a
about
lot,
the show too, like some comedians will get sitcoms and they're still like, you know, in comedian mode, they're still in stand-up comedy mode. You know what I mean?
yes, yes,
What show? Shout out to DL Hughley who was on, Kings of Comedy. But I remember
yeah,
his show.
DL Hughley
right,
show.
I loved his show too, but like
right, very
I
true.
feel like he was always like in stand-up comedy mode when he would hit the jokes and then almost play to the
Yes,
audience a little bit. You know what I mean?
yes,
Like I remember this one
Yeah,
scene
yeah.
where one of the white neighbor like runs upstairs because he was scared of something, and he's like, "Damn, white people always die of scary moves," and kind of looks at the camera a little bit, you
yeah,
know,
Yeah, yeah.
playing to the audience. But Bernie, if he wasn't in the chair talking to us, that motherfucker was in it. Like, you know what I mean? It was
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
was the
Yeah. Like
Cosby
he was
Show
in the
or
scene.
yes,
or Uncle Phil or whatever. Like he's locked
right,
in. He was a great actor. He went there. I mean, motherfucker was in Transformers, so
right.
shout out
And,
to Chris.
and the thing about it, like I said, the how natural everything was. I mean, after a while, you forget that you're watching a TV show. Like this was a
Mm-hmm,
family because he sit and talk to you. It's like you had a camera in there watching
mm-hmm,
this family. So he did really good, and he
mm-hmm,
wrote. He actually wrote I think the first season
mm-hmm.
he wrote, or maybe a couple of seasons that he wrote. And I want to just say this. Let's see. I want to give love to Khalifa Smith. She was Wanda.
Oh yeah,
Jeremy Suarez,
fine as hell.
Jordan, Dee Dee.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. And Dee Dee Davis, let's see. She was
Dee
Brianna,
Davis,
she was
baby
baby girl.
girl.
Mm-hmm.
And Camille Winbush was Vanessa. Nessa.
That's yeah.
Nessa,
And
yes, Nessa.
now
Yes.
one of y'all got an
Do
OnlyFans,
it.
okay?
I was like, don't say it.
Bernie,
Don't.
Uncle Bernie,
Oh,
Uncle Bernie
yeah, I
won't
think it might
approve.
be Nessa. I think it might have been Nessa. They got an
Nessa
no.
OnlyFans.
and baby
Yeah,
girl. Nessa
yeah,
and baby girl. Both the girls
Both
vote.
got
They both have
OnlyFans?
them. Yeah. I
they
hate
got
to tell
some.
you that I know how.
Oh,
I know.
no.
Now
Yeah.
y'all know Uncle Bernie would not have that, okay?
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
Yeah.
apparently the kids after the show didn't get a chance to, they didn't get the movie start. The young man went off to go and work in like
Mhm.
basically like yard work and like he worked in like
Really?
basically construction and stuff after the show. He wasn't no
Wow.
longer able to get work as an actor or anything like that. He was just kind of working those yards and working stuff after that. It didn't
Wow.
pan out that way after. And they had a lot of insight to say. So the girls, I get it. They're not getting royalty checks and stuff from
Yeah,
Bernie.
yeah,
So
you do. Yeah. Mm.
they do what
Yeah.
they got to do. But still, if Bernie was here, he wouldn't let that happen. I know he was
Hell
turning
nah.
his
He be
grave.
like, Nessa, you get your he be tripping, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Nessa,
would think that I'm surprised if they didn't, them alone, they were good actors. You know what I mean? Every single one of them were good actors. I'm surprised that they weren't able to go and they weren't stereotyped or typecast because, it wasn't like playing, Marge Simpson or, you know what I mean? They didn't have like
Yeah.
the same clothes on each week. They were a family. So
Mhm.
you think they would have got a lot of love, but just like with the Cosby kids, I mean,
yeah. But I
Yeah,
mean,
know,
the Cosby kids still had opportunities, though. I mean, Theo
very
worked
true.
himself into a job. Lisa
Very
Bonet
true.
had a job. Like they left
Right.
Cosby and had like opportunities.
Right. Very
But
true.
From,
The other
I'm not
shows.
saying
yeah.
Bernie didn't.
Like
Right.
coming from a black sitcom, like I feel like the opportunities aren't as like,
Yeah.
a lot for
Oh,
like, black actors
yes.
in the sitcom, Halftime we didn't get
Yes.
a fucking final episode. They just showed us go off,
That's true.
That's
They like,
true.
well,
it happens all the time.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
No,
So,
No,
and I mean,
let's they choose you, they're gonna say you typecast and hey, we can't see you outside of I don't know Urkel or Carlton or whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Unless you like the chosen one or they choose you, they don't give a
Yes.
fuck to throw you in anything. You know what I mean? And go on. But you ain't one in. You just finna just
Right.
start an OnlyFans.
I want to correct myself.
Okay.
Bernie Mac, he wrote 104 episodes. So he did write from 2001 to 2006. He wrote episodes. So he was involved in the writing of that, which I think is great because sometimes when writers come in and take over, it kind of takes away from the character, you know, like Bernie Mac, you know. So I'm happy that he was very involved in the writing along with Larry Wilmore and Jerry Collins and a bunch of others. But yeah, he did. So I love that about him. Movies. Did anyone have a favorite movie that he starred in? I loved Bad Santa. I thought that was good. I watched Ocean's 11. But Bad Santa I thought was great.
That he starred
Y'all
in?
got a favorite?
I'm trying to think. What did he star in that I was crazy about?
Let me pull up his IMDb just a second. I have this ready. Okay,
what movie
so
did he star? Like he read Soul Man, I remember he was kind of.
He was starring like towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
So I think before he hit really big.
Soul Man, and actually Soul Man was 2008. Because remember, some of these came out after he died.
Right.
Some
came out
that he was working on after he died. But yeah, Soul Man was 2008, and then you had, oh my gosh, there's a list of them.
I remember.
Bulldogs, Soul Man, Madagascar, which came out in 2008. Transformers a year before he died, but not being a lead. You know, he's guest starring.
Guess Who? That's a good one. With Ashton Kutcher.
Guess Who? Yes. Guess Who? 2005. Yes.
That was a good one.
Yes, which I thought was really good. I enjoyed that. The remake of Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It was all right. It wasn't bad. Let's put it like that. What did y'all think about it? Did y'all see the original Guess Who's Coming to Dinner?
The original? I haven't seen the original.
With Sidney Poitier and stuff?
Yeah.
I did see the Fresh Prince episode where they kind of like did their own version of it.
Right.
I didn't see the original.
They have their own version, but yeah, no, I watched it.
He did Mr. 3000.
I remember that. I don't know if I've seen that.
That was where he's a baseball player, right?
Let's see. Yeah, that's when he was a baseball player. That was 2004. And then in 2003 and 2003 Bad Santa. And then remember Charlie's Angels? Was he the contact because he took over for the first one had Bill Murray. And then he took over as I can't remember. He wasn't Charlie. He was just a homie. Okay, he was okay. Okay.
But he had a pretty big role in that.
Do y'all remember when he used to be on Moesha as Uncle Bernie? 9 episodes. 1996, 1999. He used to be on Moesha.
Yeah.
Which was really good. I enjoyed Brandy's show. I thought that was really good.
He
did one episode of King of the Hill, which I thought is great because, you know, a lot of actors at that time wanted to get a part on King of the Hill. Snoop Dogg did it, so I thought it was cool that, you know, Bernie Mac was on King of the Hill. I thought that was a cool show. Players Club.
Players
Club. Yeah.
Players Club.
Classic.
Players Club. Yes. Well, Don
screaming
King
in the parking lot.
What was
that? He in Don King?
He was in Don King, Only in America. He played Boudini Brown.
Boudini Brown. I don't. I remember Bing Rames was in it. Bing Rames was Don King. He was pretty good.
Yes.
I don't remember Bernie though.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I have a theory.
What?
I have a theory. Okay. No, just what they say online and stuff like that. They say Moesha, Brandy is. I love Brandy. Shout out to Brandy.
Yes. Yes.
Everybody that came across Brandy done died. Okay. Randell passed. He was on Moesha.
Yes.
Hakeem, he passed.
Hakeem passed.
Remember Ohaji, her boyfriend on Moesha?
Yes.
Yeah. He passed. Bernie Mac passed. She got in a car accident and killed some driver. There's like one more. So Brandy, I don't know what.
Dang, everybody gets close to Brandy.
Yeah, and now Ray J, he only got a few years to live or some shit like that. He got some health issues.
Y'all believe that?
I don't know. Yeah. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Ray J.
It's Ray J. He might be telling the truth.
His mom spoke on it though. But
Gosh,
I don't know if I believe. I believe it when it happens. Hopefully, it don't happen though. But
I'm with you. I hope not either.
We
I'm
don't,
like,
but
please,
yeah,
I hope this
yeah.
be another stunt from Ray J just to get some attention. I hope so. I really hope so.
Man. I believe
I'm
it
not
when
gonna
it happens.
care until you die and get sick. Like it's like, oh man,
And then
okay.
it's gonna be like, oh my gosh, he was telling the truth. Then we're gonna have to celebrate Ray J. Okay, so some of
It just
some of his jokes, you guys. Okay, you
Okay.
brought up the milk and cookies. What did you think about that skit? Come on, the milk and cookies.
The stand up.
Yeah,
oh,
the
it's a milk and
stand up with the milk
cookies.
and cookies. I mean, my
My
gosh.
neck, right up. It's right above Chris Rock's N-word bit. Like my favorite.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
above that. Milk and Cook. That's my favorite. Like comedy bit ever, bro. I like that shit. Was just genius. He says some, he's using, it probably wouldn't go over as well today because he's using the F word and stuff like that. But it was just
the fact that he set the baby up as the ringleader.
Yeah,
hilarious.
Wasn't
Like
the little girl? Yes.
he was like, I want some milk and cookies. She's like, she sent her brother in there to go get. He sent him out the front lines to go down first. I was like, oh, this is stupid. Okay.
Yes.
Now that I'm a dad, that joke hits so much more harder. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's relatable,
Or the little boy whining a lot, and he's like, "Do some push-ups or something."
Yeah,
I love that. He tells him to do some push-ups, and the little baby girl like looking him up from head to toe, just kind of intimidating him. Yes, that was the best.
Funny
what
thing
about
that too? I guess
the last joke. Go ahead, Mark.
I guess on the actual show, the live show, Bernie wasn't the closer. I guess for the actual film, he killed it so bad they had to move him to the close it out. They switched it, yeah. And he started closing later on, but for the film, I guess he didn't actually close, but they moved him to closer, yeah, because he was killing it, because he was the least famous at that point. Everyone else,
nobody didn't know who he was.
Yes.
Steve was the closer. Steve was the closer, but he allegedly he wasn't able to keep up closing, so he started hosting. Right. Because he couldn't follow Bernie. He really could. Yeah. So
right. They had that whole, I guess, because Bernie's gone. He can't defend himself, but there's that they said that there was contention between them and it wasn't Bernie's fault. It was just because Bernie was killing it so much. Yeah. They were just got to the point where they were like, I just rather him just go to the end. Because I think they said, like you said, Steve and DL would close it, but then they would have to go after Bernie, and it would cause issues for him.
And Steve was funny as a host. I loved him as a host.
Yeah, I think Steve is hilarious. So.
Absolutely, like his whole set,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
There was a Bernie Mac episode where he kind of made Chris Rock was in it, and I think
that was funny,
right? But it wasn't that a shot at Steve, kind of. Because remember, I watched the episode again. He had a big old flat top, and he was on stage, kind of acting. He had a suit on, like Steve Harvey, and I was like, I didn't catch it at the time. I didn't catch it. Now, since I know everything, the internet talks and everything, I look at it like and Bernie was like that darn joke stealing, swag stealing, theft of a comic or friend. Like he's like this was his friend, and like it was kind of like showing how. And he would say a joke, and Chris Rock is like, haha, that's funny. And then he would go out and do the joke. And like Bernie would see him on the side, like that was my joke. And he's like, it would show like how much he kept taking from him. And then finally when they got to that point, so I was like, was he kind of like doing a subliminal towards Steve Harvey now with everything coming out?
Right.
That's true. Because they did fall out. So
I would say if you can watch the episode again, it speaks way more volumes now.
Definitely
I got that back here. It was great episode.
So because there was jealousy, right? Because Bernie Mac was doing better than Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was supposed to be the movie star. He had the sitcom, and Bernie Mac just shoots up there and bypasses him. I mean, what movie did you see Steve Harvey in that was with, like a cast like Ocean's 11? You didn't, So for me, you expected, he had his radio show, and I always thought Steve Harvey was funny. I mean, I thought his stand-up was really good. He had the type of stand-up where the whole family can sit and watch. And he was one of those comics that can do a whole set, not curse, not one time. He's just funny.
Right.
He's just really funny. So go ahead.
He was in You Got Served, right? Didn't that's like an
Yes.
Oscar-winning movie. Didn't know Mario
He wasn't. You
How
got
could I
served.
forget that?
Yeah,
How could
man.
I forget that? My
man,
goodness.
great acting. Great acting.
We brought core memories. You suckers got served. And he was like, all right, now he's got the hat on and everything. Y'all need to stop playing. I'm like, oh my god! Like,
Yeah.
He played
got
not
dragged to the theaters
or whatever, playing the same old motherfucker with the hat. He did the same.
He's playing the same.
Role, Steve.
I hate to sound like Cat Williams, but it's like it's the same guy playing. The guy can't talk good to make everybody feel good. It's like, oh, okay. But he doesn't have a lot of range. There's no.
Right.
And I don't want to get on Steve because I love Steve. I thought the Steve Harvey show. I grew up with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I thought the Steve Harvey show was funny. I thought yeah, but I mean, as a comedian, you got to have thick skin. You got to be able to take the punches. And if you're a hater, we all gonna see. You know,
that
Yes.
Steve Harvey called the Ocean 11's director and said, "Hey, I'll do the role for half the money." And I guess that's when they fell out.
right?
Bernie talked about it in
Wow.
the magazine,
Right.
or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. How
Right.
underhanded.
You're out here trying to undercut me, and
Yeah.
Remember what
Yeah.
Kat said in the interview? He said, "Oh, because you thought she was good looking and he was black and ugly."
Yes.
And you were
Right.
just
Very
ugly.
yes.
You know,
Right.
the same thing Chris Rock said the director said
yeah,
about him
Right.
when you're trying to get in
Yeah.
the movie. So it could be that you just assume that, you know, they're gonna value me more, and that ain't what happened. That nigga had to die for you to fucking pop up.
right,
Right. Yeah.
right. For you
Yeah.
just to get in, and yeah, and it
Yeah,
wasn't
you'll hate
even
to see
a
it.
monument. If imagine a universe where Bernie was healthy, like
Right.
we would. I mean, Steve
internet
wouldn't be.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah. He movie star.
They had took
You
his
know,
Instagram
yeah.
account.
Oh goodness, it would have been crazy. It would have been absolute. And then with with streaming and all of that, like imagine where he would be, the Netflix specials. I mean,
right.
you
Never
know,
got to really see him
you know,
a real solo special either. Like, you
yeah,
know,
he
they,
never right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sucks.
you don't see, even when you look online, biggest thing you see is the Kings of Comedy, and then you see all the other stuff that he did before the Kings of Comedy, and working his way up to Kings of Comedy, or the old stuff
Right.
on, but you don't see a Showtime special, a HBO
Yeah.
special. He didn't
Yeah.
have a chance to do that, but I believe that he would have killed Netflix. You know, Netflix come out, I bet he would have been one of the first ones, kind of like the deal that Cat Williams has and what he is with Netflix. I believe Bernie Mac would have been the same thing or even bigger with Netflix, you know.
You know, DL
And
said,
maybe, you know, go ahead.
DL said before he died, they're going to do Kings of Comedy 2. And Bernie had agreed to it, but he ended up passing. But they kind of did it with like Charlie Murphy and stuff. I think Said and DL did it with, you know, but they never did the full thing they were supposed to.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'd love to see that, man. You know, but
Yes.
you know, it sucks because even like at the end of the Bernie Mac show, he was getting sick, his voice was changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was actually sad to watch the show because he wasn't Bernie, like, you know, he couldn't chase the kids and threat. They didn't feel as threatened by him. I felt like, you know what I mean?
Right. He wasn't as animated as he could be. He said he was on a respirator between takes. He was like having to go through the oxygen and go through some, like, he was doing all he can just to stay up.
He was diagnosed in 2005. He publicly disclosed that he had a sarcoidosis, a chronic inflammatory disease he had lived with since the 1980s, you guys. He died at the age of 50, so young, on August 9, 2008, from complications of pneumonia at a Chicago hospital. His final performances appeared in the films Soul Man, Madagascar 2, Africa, and Old Dogs, all released after his death. So, yeah, dude, I mean, I remember him being sick on the Bernie Mac show, and you know, everyone knowing something's not right, obviously.
Yeah.
But when he died, I don't think I was expecting for him to die. I didn't think it was like that serious. I thought maybe he was on dialysis or something, or you know what I mean? I was shocked by his passing.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Out of nowhere. You know, it's sad because his daughter was telling the story about how he passed away. I guess he had when he went to the hospital for a second, and then I think he was talking to people like, "Man, I'll be back and cool." And then he gets back out. He goes in and he's talking to his wife or whatever, and kind of acting like everything. I'm feeling a little better or whatever. He's in the hospital bed. The daughter says his wife walks out the room, and he looks at his daughter and says, "Dad." Like he mouths the words to his daughter, like, "I'm dead." And she's like, "Stop fucking playing like that." Because he would play like that. And he died, I think the same day or the next day. Like,
Wow.
he knew. But I guess he didn't want to tell the wife, but he let the daughter know, like, man,
he didn't want it that was bad.
Yeah.
Well, did you see when his wife talked about how he went through? Like he fought to stay here. It was really sad to hear, because she said
What
it was
did she
like
say?
he suffered like 3 or 4 heart attacks, and like he would come back, be resuscitated, and then he would go have another heart attack. His body was just giving out, but she said he did everything he could to come back. And then she was like, "Bernie, I need you to stay," and he kind of just went like,
I remember
and
that.
then had another heart attack, and he passed. Yeah, because he was like, "They're not gonna let me come back." And so,
wow.
Which
What
goes
was Go
if
ahead,
home
bud.
is calling, you're gonna go home.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
for him to be like, "Hey, I gotta come back," he's like, he definitely, like she said, he's like, he was fighting to stay with me, and she could definitely tell, but she was like, it was time for him to go.
So
The what you sent me, Mark, about the
Mhm.
daughter and her having a podcast, and what was that? You wanted to speak on that?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I remember everything, but so she had a podcast probably for about maybe 2 years. She would bring on, like, certain comedians or whatever, his friends. Like I seen one with like Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah.
I think maybe Broadman from Martin, who was on the Bernie Mac show too.
Right.
But she was doing that for a while, and she would just talk about her dad, and they would talk about their memories and stuff like that. And then like the other day, I seen a video where she's saying some people are after her and trying to destroy her podcast, and trying not to get her to speak out about certain things, but I ain't gonna be stopped, or things of that nature. So I didn't know too much about it. Just seen it, I'm like, that's interesting. So I knew we were talking about it, so I just forwarded it to you. But yeah, that's interesting. And you hear things like that about Hollywood and stuff. So, but you never know even what to believe. But some weird shit going on. So she don't strike me as someone that play like that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trying pretty straightforward, but
I didn't feel she was trying to get attention. Watching a video, it seemed like she was like serious, like this is going on, this is happening, I'm concerned, I'll tell you guys more about it like when I can, but this is what's going on. So
happens more than you think.
And if they're trying to silence you, then I'm kind of almost thinking like, did something happen to him that did they
was he not playing ball or not doing something?
Why they after you so hard? Because I know one of my friends he's a DJ. He has a what's it, how you say it? Sarcoidosis or
yes, sarcoidosis. Sarcoidosis.
Sarcoidosis. And then Crazy Bone has it too. Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. He has sarcoidosis as well. He's
wow.
Yeah, he alive and kicking. So. Who knows?
I
mean, I know what you're alluding to, and I can go there with you, because I do think that there was a conspiracy about like Steve Harvey, and like there was the jealousy, and they wanted to take Bernie out.
I heard that too.
I heard that.
There was Hollywood ties that, and they said like Bernie was like, all these motherfuckers is doing something to me. They fuck with me. Like he would. They say he would say random stuff like that. He would bug out and say things like, they're fucking with me, and like he did something at the White House with Obama that I guess pissed them off completely, because they said that he went and they told him to be we want you to be the Fox 40 version of yourself with comedy. He was like, no, they asked to see a show like my show. I'm gonna be who I am, and they're like, no, you're gonna do what we tell you. And he ended up going out there and killing it, doing his own show, doing how he's supposed to, making it laugh. But then, Obama was upset with him. He was like, this is not the place, not the venue. He was like, this is who I am. This is what I am. And
why you call me? Why you call me, bro?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you call me to not do me,
Right.
And I think Obama from Chicago.
You know who I am. You know what it's about.
Right.
Yeah. You know what's
Right.
interesting
He
too is
wouldn't
that
run through with the humiliation.
I'm not saying it's it's connected at all, but I fuck with Steve. I'm just but even outside of that, it's interesting because they do, to me, I always felt like they kind of fit the same role a little bit, but Bernie is just more talented and funnier. But Steve and
Yeah,
Bernie
Bernie
just,
has talent.
yeah,
Right.
like they probably go in for the same auditions and shit.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
The uncle, what you know about that old school? Y'all know nothing. He kind of had that. You know what I mean? Oh, that old school shit. That was kind of Steve's.
But I mean, yeah, Bernie, Steve. There's only room for one uncle, and it's not gonna be.
That's why I feel
Not gonna
like
be
they
Steve,
kind of,
sir.
yeah. I feel like he kind of is sliding them roles. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so.
Because
Yeah.
think about it. Steve Harvey in life. No, you know what I mean? You just can't, you can't, you know what I mean? Like Steve Harvey in life, maybe head of state, maybe, but in things like life, Ocean's 11. Can you see Steve Harvey in Ocean's? I mean, you just can't. It's maybe because we've seen Bernie Mac, but even knowing Steve Harvey's comedy and who he in his sitcom, I don't see him in those roles. I don't see him in life. I don't.
Yeah, he just
I
don't
thought you were
bring
talking
it.
about like. I'm sorry, bro. I thought you were talking about like Steve Harvey in life. I'm like, I guess he's kicking. He's probably like bumping his Bible.
No.
Okay.
Like the
He's
movie
over there
Life.
with Dr.
Could you
Phil.
see
Like,
him? Yeah, in the film, could you see him playing the part
no.
that Bernie
Oh,
Mac
no.
played in that film? Seeing, I mean, come on, seeing Steve Harvey play the little role that he played in Friday, having Steve Harvey do that, it's just, I don't feel that it would work. I feel like Bernie Mac was more like the people. You know what I mean? Like if you go to the hood, you would meet a Bernie Mac. He would be like that. Steve Harvey would be just on a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Like the movie Crooklyn, and you had the daughter that went to stay with the rich cousins, and that Steve Harvey would be the rich cousin dad. You know what I mean? He would be that. He wouldn't be living in Crooklyn. You know what I mean? So Bernie Mac's more relatable to the people.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Bernie's just and that happens a lot too, where someone Brand, you're in comedy, you know what I mean, where you're newer, and then somebody's been doing it for a minute or more kind of popular, and then you start kind of revving up, and then may start passing them, and some people get mad at that, and that could have been
that could have been how exactly, because if I think Steve had a club and he put Bernie on, and he so yeah, like Steve had I think he had a club in Washington.
Yeah.
Before the Steve Harvey show, he was doing his thing, like Steve had money, he had like connections before. He was like doing his comedy thing as like a promoter and stuff, and he would put Bernie on, and like you said, that rivalry where he's like, this guy that I put you on, I came up, you're not gonna be bigger than me. I remember when I was giving you a check, and now so it could have been.
And y'all know how Hollywood be working. Hollywood, a lot of times it's like, especially with comedy, one nigga at a time. That's really
right.
At a time. When Cat Williams was going,
okay. I don't know. I might be too nerdy here.
With Cat Williams, had this shit going on. They like, fuck it, where's Kevin? And then Kevin been riding that for a minute. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kevin Hart started right.
Yeah.
Before Cat, it was Dave Chappelle was running shit. He ran Africa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chappelle. Like, in the kind of the only time where you really seen kind of the explosion of that, but there's always kind of one. So if they grab Bernie Mac, they're not looking for Steve Harvey. You know what I mean?
Right. They're not checking for anybody else.
Yeah.
When it should be just the talent. I mean, I hate that it's like that, because you have many comics that are white, and we know all their names, and they all work, and it's not just one. With us, it's like there has to be, one
There's
comic at a time.
Plate,
like what you're saying, Mark. And then after that one, then we'll choose another one. But we can't have them just all. I don't know what that's about. Why we just can't have a multitude of just comics that are good. If you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
You might appreciate this one, but it's kind of like reminds me of like the Highlanders. I don't know if you guys remember that movie where they're like cutting each other's heads off, and there's only one person that can stand. It's pretty much like that for Black comedians.
Okay.
They fight, they go through it, and then only one is standing at the time, and only one can be chosen. I think it's changing.
more control. Like, okay, you pop and you getting famous, but don't get a big head now, because you slip up, you task on too many of these roles you want you to do. We'll grab the next motherfucker and you be the fuck up out of here.
But Rossie's true. We got so many white comedians, and it's cool. Like you can
Yes.
have Joe Rogan and Tom Segura and Kurt Burton, but for us, you know, we got the main guy that's mainstream, and then the counterculture guy.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
you know, it's Kevin Hart, and if you don't like Kevin Hart, we got Cat Williams for you.
Right.
And you got your Ali Sadiqs and a couple people like that that's spread out. So it's better than before. But when we were coming up, it was just one movie star, one comedian.
Even like Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's like my top 5 comedian of all time. But sometimes I'll be like, damn, there ain't nobody else that can get us.
Yeah, right. I mean, think about it. You guys know Earthquake. Earthquake has been around forever. I went to go see him at the Punchline. He's funny.
Hilarious.
And I always thought how odd it was that, what about Earthquake? You know, what about Earthquake? I'm not saying a movie star, but just as a comic, he's funny. But he's still, it's like he's still working his way up to the top. I mean, he just got a Netflix special not too long ago. You know? So it's, I don't, there's a lot of them that I see that I'm like, like y'all haven't, Bruce. He just now getting a Netflix special. Just now. And he's been around forever. Forever. Yeah.
I remember,
it takes them a long time.
I remember
Arnest, Jay, Godfrey, all of them. There's so many of them.
I was watching some podcast. I forgot what I don't know if it might have been Shannon Sharp and Matt Rife, maybe. I can't remember who it was, but they're talking about like their favorite comedians or something like that. And then they were like bigging up Chappelle. And then somebody mentioned Bernie Mac in the comments. And then someone was saying like, well, Bernie's wasn't on Chappelle's level and stuff. And they're arguing, you know, just big enough Chappelle, and I'm like, Chappelle is one of the motherfucking greatest of all time. But like, he's held up. He's held up here. He has to push to where when I do a Netflix special, everybody gonna watch this shit. Everybody gonna see this shit. These other motherfuckers like barely get Netflix specials, or they're just in the club. You haven't heard of them. You haven't seen them. We might know these comedians, but we haven't seen them with a special on a certain like level of a Dave Chappelle. So it's like sometimes it's not nobody can fuck with them. It's just that you're seeing, you know, one person, just like Drake before Kendrick Lamar knocked their head off, and then now you see you know what I mean? But after a while, like, damn, we can't get nobody else up that to do.
Why can't there be more? Why can't you like both? You know, why does it have to be this fight to the death? To be on top of the tower? Like, I mean, no other genres, no other venues act that way.
Outside of Kevin Hart, there has to be a young black comedian that we can put up on Netflix special on a Dave Chappelle level, or even a little lower, that can shine, bro. Because there are so many. It's not just
there's so many. So many. I'm subscribed to so many comedy, you know, YouTube channels, you know, and you see them, and it's like, oh my God, he's really funny. And I'm like, they should have a Netflix special. You know, they should be able to be up there. But like you said, with Kevin Hart, you know, with him, like you said, when they get that push and they're the favorite, no one else, they bury everybody else. This is who we're going with. This is the guy that you guys are gonna like.
You popping, but you play around. We'll grab somebody else, and you're gonna be chasing money. You'll be like Mike Epps is to you, where he's trying to like, you know what I mean? Niggas, we'll push you out the way.
But I mean, what? It went Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was on a bunch of things. Then Eddie Murphy showed up. He was on a bunch of things. And then there was kind of that weird. I think they were pushing for Martin Lawrence. Because Martin Lawrence was the guy getting pushed. Then Martin had his issues. It kind of went quiet for a minute. Bernie and Steve were picking up steam, and then DOD, but none of them stuck. And then I think Bernie would have stuck if he would have stayed. If he would have been healthy.
He passed too early, but he was on his way.
That gave rise to like Cat Williams and Chappelle and stuff like that. Chris Rock ran the world. He ran the world for him. He had a bunch of stuff, and he ran the world. But Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle have an accessibility to like white people that Bernie had, but Bernie was still through and through. Hey, this is me. No matter who I am. I'm Chicago.
I think he would have been able to crossover to the same. I mean, he was crossing over just with
Bernie
the
Mac. Oh
movie.
yeah,
So
with the show
always
alone,
say
the show,
us,
yes.
as far as that.
He
I
would have
don't think
crossed over.
white people embraced him as much as they should have.
Yeah, it was still early though.
He would have made it there.
Space,
I think though he would have did it in a way.
I
he would
believe
have got
so.
there. He would have got there. He didn't guess. He would Ashton Kutcher, like he was over. He was getting there. Yeah, and white folks watched Bernie Mac show too.
True.
Yes, they did.
But
Yeah, because of
but he did kind of cross over. He can do that, but he never stopped. He never stopped being Bernie. He was still, as blackish as they came, and he never stopped.
Kevin Hart. He was having an argument. I think it was Clubhouse. Where they're like, Clubhouse is where they have like,
yeah.
They were shitting on his new special. Like it's made a few years back. But they were just shitting on it. And he was so upset, he gets in the Clubhouse and start arguing with just regular civilian motherfuckers. And he was like, y'all don't understand. You guys are calling me watered down. And, when you get to a certain level, you have to evolve. And my thing to that was just like, Kevin was already blowing up. Kevin wasn't even that urban. I hate that word, but that hood.
Right.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone kind of messed with him. And then when he hit and white people started to like your shit, you didn't need to change anything because they like you for you. They thought you was funny the way you were. But when you start changing and start trying to cater yourself to them, I don't hear black or white people talk about, that Kevin Hart special was crazy because they already like what we're giving them, and then you switch it and try to fit them. Imagine me, I'm going with a group of white people and I want to try some Italian food. I'm excited. I never had Italian food before. I'm excited. And the waiter come out, he take everybody's order, he getting lasagna, and I want the lasagna, and the mother say, no, look, we got some chicken. You gonna love this fried chicken? Hold on. Now I want the lasagna. No, you gonna get some fried, you want crispy, or you want original, you want I came here for the Italian food.
Right. I hate to say it, Mark, but I would cave in. I would be like, "What kind of chicken you got?" Like,
right.
I just at least I get some lasagna, just put them on the side. I'm gonna be okay. Like,
But that's what he's doing with his audiences. I feel like just like, okay, I know you already like me, but I know what you really like. You like those little corny fucking jokes we're doing. Like, no, we like this shit you're always fucking doing. You talking about whatever Kevin Hart, the ostrich.
But Kevin's the ostrich where he's to the side and that was hilarious. Yeah, that's
hilarious.
Where he had the interlude where he was like, drop fire on these bitches, like, he's just putting that through.
They were
and I agree with you with Kevin Hart. When he came out, his comedy was his comedy. I didn't think he needed to change anything. He was doing the same comedy that you like and you would expect from him. The jokes that he was always family jokes, really funny. Yeah, it was the same thing. It was what made him blow up was that. For him
to learn today that type of thing.
I don't see why he had to change up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I don't know to segue it back. If Bernie were to stay, you think he would have watered down himself? Because if the Obama story is true, I don't think he would have compromised. I think he probably.
No, he wouldn't have watered down. If you Bernie, I feel like if you want to go and accept Bernie for what he was, it just is what it is. But they were accepting him, so it was working. Right. But no, he watered himself down.
Right. I don't see him. I mean, other than the show, which he's playing a character, his stand-up though, I don't see him switching up to be in, because he'd already became a movie star by the time he got the show. So, and in huge films, I don't see, because that's what we loved about his comedy was, the looks that he would give, him being outrageous, just being himself, being an everyday man and telling jokes that we can relate to. I love that, how Black people go on break and they break. You know what I mean? Things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I love that. Has anyone seen Johnny? You know what I mean? Like things like that.
Seen Johnny?
That was funny. And I don't see him giving that up to fit in, because to me, he's already conquered that before he got the show and after the show. And after the show, his movies come out after he had already died. So I see him rising. I see him doing well. I don't see him switching up, you know.
No.
I see him being a movie star despite, you know, the colorism or any of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We love Bernie Mac.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Final thoughts, Brandon.
I mean, with Bernie, it was just, even though I never knew him, he was one of those types that felt like, you know, if you walked up on the streets, he was like your uncle, somebody that you could just relate to. Like he just knew you just because he was so able to identify with what you have and stuff. I remember my family getting together, you know, Sunday nights. It would come on Sundays, you know, a little bit after The Simpsons or something, or before The Simpsons, we would watch it. And, you know, we would love it. We would just think it was hilarious. We just always thought he was funny. I always thought he was funny. He brought a lot of joy to my life. He definitely inspired me. My cousin, I don't know if he's watched this or not, but we used to kid with him and call him Bernie Mac because he looked like Bernie. We used to like Bernie Mac's your dad, like he looked kind of like. So it was always endearing to me. Yeah. So and like he would sound like him. He would have kind of like look like his name is, I hate to put him out there, but his name is Bryce, and like he definitely looked like that was the joke coming up when we were kids.
Bryce is black as hell, huh?
Yeah, you know. I'm sorry, cousin, if you see him, but yeah, no, but he was hilarious too, and it was endearing for us. And Bernie Mac was just always he's one of my top Mount Rushmores of comics. Like it was between like him, Robin Harris, Patrice O'Neal. Like there's so many there's so many unsung black comedians, but he was like the pinnacle of what it could be. We just would never know his potential because he was gone too soon. So
right.
Facts.
Mark?
Bernie Mac, that's my favorite comic of all time. When I started out, you know, when you start out in comedy, you don't have a voice yet. You're just kind of doing what the fuck you think a comedian does. And boy, I was talking about kids and shit, just doing like a fucking just hacky fucking, you know, bullshit version of, you know, I was talking to my friend's daughters and shit. And I remember this is what changed me to grow actually. Kyrie Shabazz. I don't know if you listen.
Oh man.
Kyrie, that motherfucker used to give me hell, boy. He fuck with me now. I'm always he was on Tonight Show and shit. He was doing things.
Right.
Yeah.
He's the one that had the if you don't mess with Batman, then I can't fuck with you. I love that joke that he does.
Yeah. He I remember this is early on. Like my first couple times. I remember he comes after my set. I'm talking about not liking my friend's daughter and he don't whoop her and stuff like that. He should. And he comes up after me and he's like, you know, give it up for Mark doing all the original bits like beating children and like, you know. And I developed it to my own, but but definitely inspiration. You know, mom used to watch it. She passed in 2017, but we used to watch Bernie Mac all the time. Thank you. She's all the time, bro. Man, I think one thing you learn from Bernie is when he fucking when we were talking about I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I remember I think a story they were talking about that it was a New York crowd, and if you know you comedian, y'all heard about New York. I never been in New York, but you know
the Apollo.
They just booed T.I. a couple months ago for telling jokes. So you know, if you want to know how New York get down, okay. So the crowd is just like crazy, and Bernie's like, you know, talking to Martin Lawrence, like who's the host, like, what, you know, do what I do. What he's freaking out, and Martin's like, I don't know, man. Do your shit, man. Like whatever, you know, comedians is, we comedians can be. So I guess he go out there. He just like because they just booed somebody. The comic before got booed, so they're wild, like they're just amped up. So he goes out there. You know, I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers, and they just go crazy. You know,
they would, he threw the mic behind him too, like.
You said, "Oh, but yeah,
I ain't scared of you, motherfuckers." He was upset. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, man. I just think that just lesson learned from that, man. Fuck it, man. You know what I mean? Right. Life is short. Don't let nothing stop you or hold you back or somebody telling you to this or to that. I told a nigga he was too dark or he talked too fast. He couldn't understand what he was saying and he didn't change anything. and
Right.
got to where he needed to get to. So you know what I'm saying? Just to stay true
Right.
to your corny to the sound, you know what I mean? Stay true to your yourself, man. You know what I mean? And do your shit, you know. And
Right.
his age didn't stop him. You know what I
No.
mean?
Nope.
His skin color didn't stop him. They threw this
No.
motherfucking Transformers and shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
They do Bernie Mac in Transformers. Like, come on, being acting a whole nigga. They put this motherfucker in Transformers and shit. You know,
I forgot he
and
was in. I have to watch it. I have to
he was
see
a
it
car
again. 'cause I was
salesman. He
like,
sold Shia LaBeouf the car, which is funny
oh,
because
gotcha. Okay.
it was just funny. Y'all was probably worried about Bernie Mac acting a whole nigga, but Shia LaBeouf is acting a whole nigga now and going to jail and shit. And he's white and he's from Disney, you know. So,
I mean,
cover.
to be fair,
That's
fair,
the word. Huh?
he got caught up with those Silvanios and stuff, and so he's an actor. They messed with his head. Now he think he down. Like, it's all that type of stuff.
acting the whole nigga. Okay.
Well, I have to say that what I loved about Bernie Mac was the fact that we talk about how fast he talks and what all that and all that, and he mumbles and whatnot. But that's what I came to love about him, was that was him. You know, he made his point, but that was him. The comedy was always the same. Whatever show you're watching, if you're watching a Def Comedy Jam after he came on the first time, you're tuning in each week to find out if he's going to come back on again, and you wait for that set. I mean, he was just great, and he could look a certain way and just stare, and it was funny, you know. So came to love him, loved him as a movie star, and absolutely miss Bernie Mac, you know. Definitely miss him today. There's not a day that goes by that you watch something you don't think about Bernie Mac, especially if you're watching a comedy show or something and you think about Bernie Mac. You guys, I appreciate y'all joining me. Rossie's Clubhouse, I appreciate you guys joining us for this legendary series, giving Bernie Mac his flowers. If you guys don't know Bernie Mac, go on YouTube. I'd be surprised. Go on YouTube for you younger ones. Go check him out. Go back and watch the Kings of Comedy. Watch his special. And another thing, the joke that he told, his last joke at Kings of Comedy, when he was doing a joke and everyone was offended because he was making fun of a kid that stutters or whatnot. That joke. You know what I mean? Like, that joke was great. That joke, anybody could get it with Bernie Mac. Anybody can get it. And that joke was great. That was a killer joke. The show was great. And I have Nate Liu from St. Louis. He's a recording artist. He's going to be in here next week. That show will drop soon. I still had Jedediah, who's going to be, his episode will be dropping as well, you guys. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate you guys. This is Brandon Holloway. This is Mark Snipes. You guys can follow them. Their links will be in the description of the video. You can go to their YouTube channel. You can go to their Instagram, follow them, and catch it. If you're living in Sacramento, you guys do a lot of shows. Mark, what do you have coming up?
So I have April 4th. Where the fuck is that? Somewhere off Arden. Damn it. Shout out to Russell Cousins. It's just, I think it's like that's a name. It's an address. I'll probably pull it up. But I have April 17th, I believe, is Last Unlimited. So I'm gonna be there. Y'all call, fuck him. Brandon, you go ahead and talk so I can pull his address up because I'm.
Oh, got you. Okay. So, yeah, I don't have a lot going on too much. I've been your boy's been working in this economy, so I've been kind of focusing on getting that. The job's been getting crazy and stuff, but I go to open mics every now and then, get what I can. But you know, I'm always open for opportunities. I'm always out there, and eventually, when my debts are paid, I will be out there a lot more. So until then, thank you, Trump. Thank you, everybody, for all this hard shit. So, goddamn inflation.
Speaking of the president, Bernie Mac told the president of the United States, nigga, I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm finna do my shit. That's confidence, bro. That's confidence.
That's like, hey,
if you don't change for Obama, nigga, you ain't changing for nobody.
Nobody, right?
Right. Yes.
Not president, not even the first black president.
Yes.
When I think about it, it was 2000, like, you know, Obama came in about 2008. So Bernie was like, he was that dude. So they were probably expecting him to be the guy on TV, and he was like, no.
Right, very true. Very true. I can see that.
Last Unlimited. I'm pretty sure it was April 17th. She told me to promote this motherfucker too. That's the problem. 22nd, April 22nd.
Okay.
April 22nd.
Okay.
Oh, lit, man.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining Rossie's Clubhouse. I'll see you guys again. Be good to each other. Have a great week, and we are out.